dawn on Sunday, the Celticade of cars and buses started the long drive to Lisbon. Estoril, Portugal. Celtic's hideout for the pre-match preparation. Green and white. A good omen? Tuesday morning, the team left rain-soaked Glasgow and 3 hours later stepped blinking into the Portuguese sun. Somehow or other, there were hundreds of Celtic supporters at the airport to greet them. If Celtic ever go to the moon, you'll find supporters already there waiting for them. A visit to the National Stadium. This is where it would all happen. Training at 5:30, the time of the match 2 days later, to get used to the heat. Inter Milan would have no worries on that score. For Ronnie Simpson, a great year. At 36, his first Scottish Cup medal, league medal, international cap, and named Player of the Year. Now a win in the European Cup would complete a fairy tale. A fairy tale too for Jock Stein, a forgotten man in football, playing for Llanelli in Wales. Brought back to Celtic as a stopgap, becomes captain of the side and wins a league and cup double. Put out of the game through injury, turns to coaching, successfully. Leaves Celtic to manage Dunfermline and Hibs, now back as Celtic's manager. The club have made a clean sweep of every trophy in Scottish football. Already Britain's Manager of the Year for the second year running, Lisbon could make him a Celtic immortal. Llanelli to Lisbon. He had come a long way. The next day, a morning session at the National Stadium itself. Inter Milan, watch. In Glasgow, the great airlift starts. Planes are leaving Abbotsford and Prestwick every few minutes through the night and all the next morning. 12,000 Celtic supporters went to Lisbon, the biggest sporting airlift in history. Brother Walfred would have smiled. He had founded a team to feed the poor of the East End of Glasgow. Now in many cases the grandchildren of those self-same poor were flying to Lisbon for a few hours, hoping to see that team, his team, become the champions of Europe. The Celticade arrives in Lisbon, most of it. One bus broke down, and supporters hired a fleet of taxis to make a dash to see the game. There are hitchhikers, campers. The Portuguese take them to their hearts. Herrera had appealed to them to support Inter Milan because they too were Latins. But surely there was something Latin about these men from the cold north who sang and waved flags all day and had travelled so far to support their team. Despite their success, Celtic have a simpatico quality. Underdogs throughout the world feel that Celtic is their team. If faith and hope could win football matches, Inter Milan might as well have stayed at home. This was something of a crusade, a pilgrimage. Celtic supporters had not travelled this far to be beaten. They would will the team to win. "60 years previously, Celtic had been the first club in Scotland to win 4 major trophies in a season. Surely this was the year for them to win 5. And it was a brand new trophy too, the sort that Celtic usually win. This was their first time in the European Cup, and Celtic are famous first-timers. There were all sorts of reasons why Celtic were bound to win, if only fairy tales came true. Familiar faces are recognised in the crowd. It seemed as though every family had a representative there for this great occasion in the folk history of Glasgow. All the planning, training, coaching, hoping was over. 90 minutes of football. One mistake on one side or another could decide it all. Some of the Celtic players were singing as they came on the field. The homegrown side from the East End of Glasgow against the costliest team in Europe.